Hello, and welcome to video 1 of the Coders Bracket tutorials, choosing the winner of your March Madness bracket by the seed. And like each video in this series of tutorials, I will be building from the ground up the code that is available from the examples section in the examples dropdown. So this is the by the seed code that we're going to be building today, and in further videos I'll be covering all of these other nice example code snippets that you have access to, these example functions. Great, so let's get started with by the seed. This is the code that we're going to be building. I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and I'm going to live code it in front of you and explain what I'm doing. So like all functions for Coders Bracket, we need to have a function. And this function is going to take three, what they're called parameters. You could think of them as variables. Game, team 1, and team 2. And the way to say, hey, I'm inside of this function is to open with a curly bracket and then close with a curly bracket. So everything inside of these two curly brackets is going to be the code that is part of this function that we've just defined right here. So the code goes here. Great. So now the purpose of a function in Coders Bracket is to determine the winner of one game, and the function will run for each game. So it's going to run for this game, for this game, for this game, for all the games in the tournament, and your function only has to do one thing. It has to determine who is going to win, the game that the function is currently looking at. So we want to write some logic in here that's going to determine the winner of a game, who moves on to the next, the next, the next. So let's say that we wanted to determine the winner of a game by who has the better seed, right? So the number 1 seed, if the number 1 seed, that's the best team in their section of the tournament, the number 1 seed should definitely beat the number 16 seed, for example, or the number 5 seed, right? Because the number 1 seed is the best. So we want to write some code where the better seed always wins. To do that, we are going to use a if statement. So we're going to write the word if right here, and that is followed by an open parentheses and a closed parentheses, and inside these parentheses right here, we're going to write something that is true or false. So we want to say, okay, well, if team 1's seed property is greater than team 2's seed property. Let me get my, you can expand your editor just like this. So if team 1's seed property is greater than team 2's seed property, and then I get to open a curly bracket and close a curly bracket, and this code, this is what will happen if inside the parentheses, if inside these guys is true. And then I get to write else, otherwise, and then open curly bracket, enter, close curly bracket. This is what will happen if inside the parentheses is false. So it's not true. So if team 1's seed is greater than team 2's seed, what do we want to happen? Well, let's say that team 1 has the 16th seed and team 2 has the 1st seed. So this would be true, right? So if team 1's seed is greater than team 2's seed, it looks like team 2 should win. So team 2 wins the game, right? Because team 2 has the smaller seed. That means it's the number 1 seed is the best, so the smaller seed should win the game. Okay, so let's put this actually here. We want team 2 to win the game. So now what happens if it's the other way around? Well, if it's the other way around, we want team 1 to win the game. And the way that you tell our program who you've decided the winner is you say that team, and then you call their wins game method, which is just a function that team 1 has where it can say, hey, I have won the game. So let's look at our logic one more time. If Team 1's seed is greater than Team 2's seed, Team 2 will win. Otherwise, Team 1 will win. And this function will basically determine the outcome of one game based on the seed. So let's run it. Great. So as you can see, we are correct, and the team with the lower seed, in this case Florida, wins. Florida has a lower seed than Memphis, and Florida keeps winning because it's actually got the lowest seed in its section of the tournament. Great. So once you're done coding up your bracket, you can always save your bracket by entering your information here and clicking Save Bracket, and this will potentially submit you for wonderful prizes and glory in the future. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.